Hey, this is Kirk, and today we are going to jump into some of my favorite sounds that I use when I'm making ambient music. We got some pads, we got some plucks, we got some sweeps, we got some subs, and I'm gonna make a little music maybe just to show you them in context. We're gonna talk about the mod wheel and the magic therein, and at the very end of the video, there will be a link where you can get these sounds for free and use them in your own productions. So there you go. Let's dive in. So the first thing I want to mention before we dive too deep into the sounds is the magic of these sounds in particular, and a lot of sounds, is using the mod wheel. Now, if you don't have a mod wheel, I would suggest making that a priority if you're into creating ambient music or cinematic music or music that has a lot of dynamic swells and slow motion filter sweeps and things like that. It just makes the sounds come alive. And you'll see how that works later in the video. But all it is just a controller on the side of your MIDI interface. Now, you don't need this ginormous thing in order to do what I'm going to do. You just need something that has a mod wheel. Honestly, you could do something similar with faders. I don't typically use the faders. It's just easy for me to set up the automation with the mod wheel. And it's right here in my left hand. I play things in my right hand. Everybody's happy. So definitely want to encourage you to grab a mod wheel if you don't have one. And if not, at the end of the day, you can actually do some of this stuff with just your mouse. And that's okay too. All right. So let's look at these sounds. We have my first favorite sound is a felt piano pad. Now I made this just by recording one note off a felt piano, and then I kind of ran it through some reverbs and some delays and some warble mods and some backmasking and created this weird sample, and then I could stretch that out over the keyboard and then loop part of the sustain of the note to create this evolving pad texture. So I love this thing, and let's listen to it. So it's like a high version of it. Let me go low. Right? Let me go real low or lower. Yeah. And now I'm just going to try to do like a spread triad, just a C, G, and E, right? I just love it. It just always sounds good. Now, one thing you would notice is when I let go, it kind of just stops, right? On a lot of these sounds, that's how they're going to act. I do that on purpose, and that's so I can control the ends of the notes with the mod wheel. So, and then I come down and let go. And then I move chords, right? So that if I'm moving between chords or even changing keys, I'm not going to have a lot of tail that's going to blur and make kind of mushy sounds. But if I want to create a little bit of life with those sounds, then I have some sends that I just kind of standard stuff, just reverb, delay, and some shimmer. So I can add a little bit of verb, a little bit of delay, a little bit of shimmer, and then I can take that sound and it kind of, there's the tail. Right? So beautiful sound, felt piano pad. I love it. So another sound is kind of on the pad side of things, but this is actually a bright pad. So this is going to have more high-end information, more texture, and I made this just by sampling some strings and then doing the same kind of thing where I'm modifying things, adding reverb, baking in delay, reversing sounds, stretching them until I have like a sample that I love, and then I stretch that out over the piano. And I actually like to sample higher sounds because when I pull them low, they just sound good. I've found it more satisfying to make one good sound in the high register and then pull it across the keyboard. It feels good. So here's a bright pad. you can hear that. There's more texture on the top end. Let me add some of the verbiage and delays too also. And so what I'm doing when I'm opening the mod wheels, I'm opening the filter of the sound. So if I'm wide open, there it is. But as I bring the filter down, it's more rounded. So even with just one note, you have this dynamic emotion control that really brings a lot of life to your music. So let's do a little experiment. Let's do like a C chord to an F chord. I'll start with the felt piano pad. We'll do something in the middle. Right, let's try that. And I'm just doing the 1 and 5 of the chords, so the C and the G. Come down. Okay, so we got that going on. Just gonna bring these over here. And then I'm just gonna add a bright pad on top. Let's go up here. Then I'm gonna do the 3, so the E of the C and the A of the F. So just the thirds of the chord. Okay, so nothing crazy, but it feels really nice because you have the modulation of the mod wheel, opening up the filter. It's also raising up the volume of the sound slightly, so it just feels good. Next sound is a sub, and this is one I designed in Alchemy. Alchemy's great, it does a lot, but I also created the same patch for Vital, so you can use that if you're not a Logic person. And let's go down here. So this is like a mono sub. It's got some sine waves, it's got a little bit of triangle, a little bit of saw, I think, is baked in there. But it's doing the same thing. It's got that filter and the volume's controlled by the mod wheel. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And a lot of times when I'm writing, I will write with the pads and come up with a progression. And then once I add that bass, it's like the whole thing just comes alive. I love this sound. I use it a lot. And it's very simple. A lot of these sounds very simple, but it's the emotion that you put into it that makes it come alive. All right, another sound here is this lo-fi pluck, and it is a sound, again, it's very similar to the felt piano pad. It's just more on the plucky side of that sample. It's a different sample, but it's a piano sample that I mangled and manipulated, and it sounds like this. Lovely. I like it. So let's put some sprinkly bits on top of this little chord progression and see how they fit. I'm going to start up here and then just move around. 1, 2. Beautimus. I like throw that into some verb and shimmer. I'll turn it down a little bit. All right. Great. So we got our dark pad, which is the felt piano. We got our bright pad, which is the strings. We got the dynamic sub. We got the lo-fi pluck for some melodic interest. And then these last two sounds right here, this is the brown noise swell and the ocean swells. And these are basically like white noise. But to me, white noise is too harsh. So I like brown noise. It's a little bit darker. It sounds like this. And again, I have a filter with the mod wheel. And I can send this into verb and delay and all the things. And it adds a lovely texture to your sounds. So that's brown noise. That's just more of a synthesis, synthetic sound. But you can use things like ocean waves to have a similar role, but a different sound. So here's some ocean waves. Yeah, they're super loud. But I'm going to verb them a little bit, shimmer a little bit. And so this is a great way to build your own swells, great for transitions. So let's use this ocean swell as a transition from the C chord to the F chord. Lovely. I love it. And so, again, these sounds, they are simple, but they are very effective. And you can use these exact sounds, or you can design your own sounds that are like this. Think about having something that is dark that you can use to fill out kind of the low mids of your arrangement. Think of something that has brightness, so something with some sizzle on top that you can use for outlining chords or outlining melodies. Having a nice dynamic sub is going to really help you build some emotion. And then having some sizzly bits, whether it's a brown noise, white noise, ocean swells, leaves, rain, something that you can control with a mod wheel. It's just a great way to add this life into your music. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions about these. And again, I designed these in Logic, so if you're a Logic user, you can go to the link in the description and you'll see Ambient Essentials Starter Pack. You just download the files, and if you're using Logic, you just either open up a sampler or you open up Alchemy, and then you just click here, and you go to Load, and then you find the instruments here. If you're using Alchemy, go to Alchemy. The lo-fi pluck is in a quick sampler. These instruments here are in the sampler. The Alchemy patches are here. And then if you're using Vital, you would do the same thing. So you'd create a new instrument, and then you'd go here, and you would open up Vital. You can download Vital. I'll put a link in the description there also. Then you can click here, hit load, go to the thing that you downloaded, go to Vital, pick your patch, and you're off and running. So there you go. I hope that was super helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's any other videos you'd like me to make in the future. Also, I made an entire class. It's over 8 hours of me making ambient music from start to finish. I make 2 tracks, then I teach you how to work on artwork and how to promote your songs after they're done. If that sounds interesting to you, you can check out this trailer or look at the link in the description. All right, have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later.